Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be 5 life-changing tips from your future self. So this is going to be for between now and the end of the year. These are tips that your future self has for changing your life. So your first card here says you can easily fix your finances with little friction. It says, fix what, I can't read it. Mend what needs mending. It might be broken, but all is not lost. So for some of you, you could be fixing a situation here in your life. I do feel it's probably financially related. Although I kind of do feel that, I was going to say love, and it's funny, you have the Hierophant here. I'm not saying you're going to fix a situation with a person and get back with them, but, you could be just forgiving the situation so that you can move on. You could be letting the situation go or something like that. And I feel that's what probably is going to bring love into your life if you want it. But in your first row there, you have the Magician, the Hierophant, and the Four of Cups. I'm using the in-between tarot, so each card represents the energy in between two cards, basically. And so, with the Magician there, you go to the High Priestess, and I do feel a connection between the two. It's like, and especially now that we have this Ace of Pentacles here, I feel a lot of you, it's like you could have an idea for a business, and, what I would say is it's like you have the talents, gifts, skills, and abilities, but I feel like you need to believe in yourself a little bit more with the High Priestess side of things here on the Magician card. It's almost like I'm getting that you have everything you need, but you're just the thing that's missing is like the belief in yourself or something like that. I also kind of feel here in your first row that what your future self is saying is that, that it is safe for you to take a risk. Like, I feel that your future self here, especially on this card, it's like saying, hey, it is safe for you to get out there, to try new things. It's safe for you to, if you experience taking a risk in business, for example, and things didn't work out, it's okay to try again, and you are protected at this time. So I feel like you need to realize that you are protected. I also get that a lot of you could be, kind of improving yourself at this time. So any self-improvements that you can do would be a great idea. You have the Hierophant to the Lovers here. Again, could have been a person you thought you were going to marry and things didn't work out. But I kind of feel that just, I feel like really, each one of these rows is meant to represent one thing, right? And I really feel this first row is talking about that, like a clean it up type of energy. I'm not saying that you're going back to a past person or whatever, but I get the vibes that a past person could be coming in with an apology. You could just be, I don't think you have to say much, you know what I mean? It's like, you could just be like, okay, it's fine, but I'm moving on. You know what I mean? It's like that type of thing. So don't make this something that it doesn't need to be, right? But sometimes I do think it is better to just forgive and move on, even if you don't really forgive them, right? Just saying, okay, I accept your apology, and that's it. I think that's perfectly fine, and it could just set you free from the situation. It's funny because I always get comments from people that go on and on and on and on, 2 pages of paragraphs saying how they'll never forgive a past person. I'm like, well, you clearly have not gotten over that person, right? You can tell me all day long that you have, but then why are you writing 2 pages about it? You clearly haven't gotten over it. So, there you go. If you're spare yourself the writing the 2 pages that I'm just going to delete anyway, right? It's like, I think people don't think that I'm just going to allow that to sit there. Like, no, I'm not going to let your toxic spew sit on my page, right? Plain and simple. So what I would say here is, for the rest of you that are smart, forgive, move on, blah, blah, blah. You're done, right? That'll attract new love into your life, plain and simple. You have the 4 of Pentacles here. Again, I feel everyone feels this right here. You go up to the Emperor, to the Ace of Pentacles, and what I would say here is that I feel there's an opportunity that you're looking at, especially with that High Priestess. Again, the reason I think something people don't understand about the High Priestess is that the reason she represents an opportunity is because she represents something that has unlimited potential. And again, you go from the Magician to the High Priestess, it's the in-between energy, but it's like there's something that has a lot of potential coming in for you. I feel it's a little bit of a risk, right? But right here, you have this Explore the Possibilities card. So I really feel your future self is encouraging you to, I definitely feel it's a financial risk for a lot of you. This is kind of giving me looking around here, the vibes of like getting a job where maybe you're just not sure about it, or maybe there's no future security, or maybe there aren't health benefits for like 6 months or something like that. There's like some sort of risk there, if that makes sense. And, I think this is going to be worth the risk is what this is saying. Same thing if you're in business, or even if you're retired and you're thinking about, downsizing or something like that. I think it's going to be worth the risk. With the Magician, you have the Celeste card. Again, I feel you could have been dealing with a tricky person, and definitely if you were, there's no way around it. I feel like this person is coming back. We go down here to the Six of Cups. So, I think all your readings this year have basically been about whatever the situation is. I do feel like this person basically can't keep it in their pants. So, whatever it is in their pants doesn't matter. I don't care. I just think that, they kind of are just, loosey-goosey. Let's put it that way, spreading it all over the place. So, what I would say here is I think they're still the same way. They might be coming in for an apology. I definitely feel it. But at the same time, it's like I would just move on from this situation. It is also interesting that you go Hierophant, Lovers, to the Emperor, to the Hierophant right here. So it's almost as if you could be attracting like a true Emperor or a true person that is good for you. With the Hierophant, you have this influence card. I'm using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to clarify, by the way. So I feel like this person's easily influenced. You could have been with someone who kind of came off as a leader, but they were really just a follower. So, I would be careful of that situation. For those of you that are working on fixing your financial life here, because I think the major theme in this first row is not just love. I think it's financial. I would be careful of other people influencing you. It seems to me like there's something here about taking a risk. But again, it's not a real risk. Like I said, it's like the risk of, starting a new career where maybe there's some downtime, maybe there's a little bit of time where you don't have health insurance or something like that. It's that type of risk. And I feel like this is saying, like, don't allow other people to influence you away from getting something that is going to be good for you, plain and simple. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the protection. Because you are protected, this is all you need to know right here. It's like this direction is that taking control with the Emperor and grabbing onto this opportunity that's coming in for you is what you need to do. I also get the feeling of something easier. I'm not saying like you're getting a job that's like super easy, but it's like maybe you have a job right now that is super complicated, and I feel like you could be getting something. It might not even necessarily be less work. I feel that it's like the work that you do is more focused. So instead of just like running all over the place crazy, it just feels more even, less chaotic. I feel this like much more calm energy on this Ace of Pentacles, and that's really the vibe I get here, Capricorn. So especially financially, if you're getting a job, it's like much more disciplined. I don't know, those are the words I'm getting. And it's not even that it's disciplined. I think it's just more organized, less chaotic. Same thing with business as well. It's like you could be getting into something that just has a better plan. I think it's more, and I keep getting that word disciplined, but, of course you have to be disciplined to have a business, but that's not really what I think the word is meaning in my head. I think it's more like saying there's a certain order that you do things, which it doesn't maybe make it easier, but in a way it kind of does. And it's more kind of straightforward. So I like that. For your next tip from your future self, you have this card that says, early in the month, it says, the aha moment will arrive. Don't wait for clarity to get started. Yes, I think you've already had aha moments. I feel that some of you, if you're thinking about making a change, you already know what to do. You already know the direction you want to move in. So I feel that it's like you already have everything you need. I get a very fiery energy here. You have this fox spirit coming up in your third row or fourth row. And the fox energy is a very fiery energy. So there's something that you need to charge towards. There's something that you really need to take control of. It feels like a little bit of a risk to me, like I said. So, if you have ideas for a business, I would just do it. It's like you already have more than enough. If you have ideas for starting a new career or whatever, again, I feel like you already have enough to get started. And that's all you need to know. You have this Four of Swords here. So the Four of Swords is a card of recovery and healing, and I do feel that, I feel like you've been through enough of a healing, and now it's time to take a risk. It's like time to get out of stuck mode and things like that. I always say, like, I have a lot of spiritual friends, obviously, because of, what I do, and, I have a lot of them that are always going to healing retreats, and I've told this story before, that eventually you have to have healed. So it's like we are not so broken that we have to keep going to these, healing retreats and things like that. Eventually you should develop the tools where whenever something happens, you can heal yourself. So it's not like we're some broken thing that exists here on earth. And again, I believe personally, I have a bone to pick with the spiritual community and the New Age community, which makes it seem like we have all this karma and stuff that we have to pay off. I don't really feel like it works like that, number one. And I know that upsets people, but think about this. The people that are upset, I always get comments of people like, how dare you say that we don't come here with all this karma and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, well, you are supporting the idea that we come here to Earth where we have to fix something that we don't know what we need to fix. And, it makes us a victim and all this other stuff. So you are supporting that ideology. I support positivity, moving towards positivity, taking control of your life and making it more positive that way. And I don't know, it's worked amazingly well for me and other people that listen to what I say. So, there you go. And it's free as well. I'm not like one of these people that's like, oh, you have to pay me for karmic clearing or anything like that, right? So I don't know. You believe what you want to believe. I don't care. But, like I said, I feel for a lot of you, this is saying you've been through the healing. I get that vibe here. And now eventually, like in relationships, you go through healing, and eventually you have to get to a point where you take the risk to date a new person, right? Same thing in business. Maybe you've had a business failure or some sort of job loss that you've healed from, and now it's time to, again, take the risk to grab onto something new. It's like, again, I think the other thing that I preach, not to toot my own horn here, is I want people to be brave, assertive, bold, to stick up for themselves, to feel empowered. And it's like, these people that leave these comments, everything they say is the complete opposite. They want you to be weak. They want you to be a victim and all this other stuff. And I call BS on that, plain and simple. So there you go. But what I would say here is I feel the Emperor is you bossing up. I feel like this is saying that you are becoming a boss. This is in between the Emperor and the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the bridge between the heavens and the earth. He brings things down to earth. Like he communicates with both sides. He maybe has an idea that exists up here in the clouds, that exists in the ethers, and he manifests it on earth. So I feel like mixing these two energies would be a really good idea for you. It's also interesting that you have the High Priestess. The High Priestess and the Hierophant are divine counterparts. So there could be a new divine counterpart coming in for you, but really, I kind of feel this is saying, it's like you have that high priestess energy of having this idea that has potential in your life, and the Hierophant, he's the one that kind of brings it down to earth, and maybe it just needs a little bit more action from the Emperor to make something a reality. And I kind of get that for you here, Capricorn. You have the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. So I feel for a lot of you, this is encouraging you to be bold, be assertive, and really kind of make something happen. So let's see here. I don't know if I said this. I'm using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to clarify. This is the in-between tarot, if I didn't say that. It's in between two energies of two cards, and it's an awesome deck. I love it. Let's see. With the Four of Swords, you have this indecision card. You've made a decision. See, I feel like you put something to sleep here. I always get this feeling for you, Capricorn, where it's like, I think you laid something to rest. Like, if this was a person, I kind of get the feeling, if this story is for you, some of you, it's like maybe you had a pattern with a person where you'd always get back together with them, but it's like you made a final decision. I feel like I've said this to you before. So really, I don't think there is any indecision here. The only indecision might be around your finances, which, again, something is divinely guiding you. There's like an angel right here. And so I feel like the universe is kind of guiding you in new directions, but I kind of feel this row is going to tell you what you have to focus on. It says explore the possibilities, and you have the Six of Pentacles. You actually have two sixes, which I love. Two sixes to me says you're on the right path. It's like confirmation for your path. But, really, I feel you have to explore. I feel if you have an idea to start a YouTube channel, you just have to experiment, and I think that's where all your success is going to come from. You can't make this up right here with the Emperor. Look at what this card says. It says risk on it. Everything that I've been saying. So I feel you have to take a risk at this time. This risk is going to be the thing that opens all the doors, So I would really encourage you to kind of open up here to a risk. And again, I definitely feel it's like financial for most of you, like starting a new business, changing your career, making a career move. It could be the risk of also asking for a raise or a promotion at work if you need a raise or a promotion, or if, again, there might be an interview process, for example, to get a raise or a promotion. And I would take advantage of, if it comes up in your company, for example, I would take advantage of it. Same thing in business as well. It's like there could be a risk that you need to take to grow, and I would take the risk. With the Queen of Wands, you have this inheritance card. Ten of Pentacles vibes. Everybody, I feel, is working towards inheritance energy. Some of you, of course, could have an inheritance coming in, but I feel you would already know about that. Really, with all this energy we have in Taurus, especially for you, Capricorn, as an earth sign, that, there's going to be a lot of benefits in building and leaving a legacy, like building things that are bigger than you, building something that is important, building something that, could lead to a lot of success or abundance, building something that is like leaving a legacy, like writing a book or something like that. So, I feel like your future self wants you to take the risk on working on something like that as well. For your next tip, you have this card that says explore the possibilities. I'm a huge fan of experimentation right now. I feel if you want to be super successful over the next 20 years, I would just, it's as simple as having new experiences, trying new things. I'm literally starting a whole new channel about it. That's how important it is. So, anything you can do that's different, anything you can do to experiment with life or try new things in life is just going to lead to a lot of success and abundance for you. So that's what I would be doing here with the Explore the Possibilities card. I feel there's a lot of happiness coming in for you as well. So, but this is going to come through having new experiences. I kind of get this feeling of, it's kind of funny. You end with this clam card, and it's almost like you've just been like a happy little clam, stuck in your shell for a very long period of time. But it's like once you open up, like when you think about it, clams, they pretty much stay stuck in one place for most of their life. They don't really move very much, most of them. And, so what I would say here is that, I feel for some of you, it's like you're kind of like broadening your horizons or something like that through having new experiences. It's like I think sometimes we get to a certain point in life where we're just like, every day is the same. And I feel you want to party. I feel like, maybe literally, but not necessarily literally here, Capricorn, but I just feel you want to taste all the flavors of life. You are having this real, this row is kind of giving me this vibe of really wanting to explore. You have the Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. So again, I love 2 sixes. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I love 2 sixes because to me, 2 sixes says you're going in the right direction, you're on the right path. You have the Ace of Pentacles here, so there's clearly big opportunities coming in for you. I almost feel there's an opportunity coming in for you that you are going to want to protect as well. You go down to the Three of Swords and then down to the Six of Wands, but it's in between the Six of Wands and Seven of Wands. And so Seven of Wands is a card of defending your position at the top of a hill, but this is giving me those vibes of a knowing. Sometimes I think we do something in life and we kind of just know that it's going to work, and I feel that for you, where you could be getting that knowing, where that something is going to be successful for you. And, I would work on whatever that is with the Seven of Wands. So there's like a very solid opportunity. It's kind of funny. It looks like she's discovering this Ace of Pentacles here, this watch, like in the sand. So some of you, it's like you're finding buried treasure. But, I always say you have to move a lot of dirt to get to the gold right now. So explore the possibilities. The more you explore, the more likely it is that you're going to strike pay dirt, basically. You have this card that says the Six of Pentacles to the Seven of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, my card of planting seeds. So again, another card of exploring, experimenting. That's definitely the name of the game for you, Capricorn. I say this to you all the time, but I don't know, why haven't you tried it yet? That's my question for you. I would go do something different today, like right now. It could be one small thing. It's like maybe every single day you watch Jerry Springer. It might be maybe it's time to watch Oprah, right, or something else. It could be as stupid as that sounds. I don't care how stupid that sounds. It could be one tiny little thing that you change, right? It's like people think I'm making this stuff up. It's like this. Well, I mean, today is a horrible example, right? But it's like I've been wearing a black shirt for 4 years now, every single day, right? This year, I started wearing colored shirts, So it's like, there you go. I'm living proof. I actually do the things I say. There you go. Doing this video right here is an experiment. I came up with this idea to do 5 tips from your future self to change your life between now and the end of 2024. Another experiment. Boom, right there. And it's changed my life, and it's free. So there you go. Six of Cups definitely could be a person coming back from the past, but again, I feel like this person can't keep it in their pants. I think that, honestly, I get vibes here of like a person, could be a fire sign for some of you, could be a water sign for some of you as well. I get vibes of a person who just like, a person gives them attention and they're like, oh, there, surprise, right? So something pops up, right? Every single time. So I would definitely be careful if you were dealing with like a player, or if you have, I feel some of you had suspicions of this. Again, this person could be coming back. I really feel you were kind of like a light in their life, but you have this light bulb right here, and it's standing out to me as I talk about this. So it's like, they're coming back. I feel like they are realizing what they're missing, but I also feel like the next person that comes along that gives them gives them attention, it's like they pop right up. There you go. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have this authority card. Yeah, you're taking control of your life. Ace of Pentacles, and you have the Emperor with the authority card here. The Ace of Pentacles is kind of like the beginning of building and leaving a legacy. On the Ace of Pentacles, the traditional meaning is there's a garden in the front of it. It literally represents like planting a garden, planting seeds. Six of Pentacles, everything I've said. With the Six of Pentacles, you have this Convention card. Probably the enemy of progress, as for Earth signs right now, is Convention. Convention represents the way things have always been done. So again, another sign of experimenting or needing to experiment. I would just try new things. With the Six of Cups, you have this harmony card. I feel like you want peace, harmony, especially in a relationship. So if someone's going to come in at this time, this is what you want, is like peace and harmony, plain and simple. Next, for your fourth tip, you have this Fox Spirit. It says, think on your feet. So I do feel for a lot of you, you're going to have to explore multiple options as far as, in multiple possibilities, as the card before it says, to kind of manifest this Ace of Pentacles into your life. So, don't be afraid to change it up. Don't be afraid to be spontaneous or try new things. I really feel this reading is encouraging exploration. You have the King of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. Yeah, this is the King of Wands to the Page of Wands. I kind of am noticing the difference between the two. The King of Wands, very bold, very assertive. Page of Wands, more enthusiastic. He doesn't really know anything yet. He's just following his enthusiasm. So it's definitely like some of you, I feel like some of you could feel like this. Like you could feel like you're going from knowing a lot to kind of, being more of a beginner. You could feel like you are starting over in some area of your life. It's not really like starting over. It's more just not having all the answers, So it's like if you're getting a new career, it could be different in some way and you just don't know everything yet. So it's like you're enthusiastic about it, like the Page of Wands, but maybe you just wish you knew more, like the King of Wands, like you wish you knew exactly what to do. So again, it's kind of like another symbol here that is telling me that you could be getting into a very, very new situation. Same thing in business as well. It's like you're very enthusiastic about it, but I also get that if you're like leaving a business, you could be a little worried. Or if you're making a big change, you could be worried that you're going to kind of lose the success that you had. So, I kind of get the difference there. You do have this Three of Swords to the Four of Swords. So again, I feel some of you are leaving behind a heartbreak and you're entering into into a time where you're healing from this past person, if you dealt with this past person. I also would encourage you to watch your health. You have the Two of Pentacles as well here, the Ace of Pentacles to the Two of Pentacles. And I feel it's encouraging you to make sure that you stay healthy and make sure you balance things out. Three of Swords can be a card of your health, and it can just say, if you're working too much, make sure you're balancing it out with other things so you don't get sick or injured or whatever. You have the Eight of Wands here, so quick success. Eight of Wands to the Nine of Wands. Funny enough, Nine of Wands is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, so I definitely am a big fan of you experimenting, trying new things, doing things differently, like I've said a million times. That's pretty much the only thing that this reading is talking about. So really, you just have one big tip, which is explore the possibilities, see what happens, try new things, experiment. That's like where all the success is coming in for you. I also feel this is encouraging communication with that Eight of Wands. I feel it's saying maybe you've learned to be more direct, and I think that's going to be important for you. With the King of Wands, you have this appreciation card. Yeah, I feel like you just need to appreciate where you are and appreciate, some of you might feel that you are getting a second chance in a sense. Like if you're getting a new job or getting a new business, you could very much feel like you are a beginner or it's like you're not a beginner. Like I said, it's more of that Page of Wands energy where it's like the excitement for a new beginning or the excitement for something new, but also kind of the nerves. But the more you appreciate it, I feel the more abundance and more good things you will, attract into the situation. With the Three of Swords, you have this domination card. Yeah, I feel like we're dealing with a person who had control issues. So, I would be careful of that. I would also be careful of needing to dominate a situation. Sometimes I think if you're working on something new here, it's like we try to beat the competition, but then we make ourselves competition, right? Because we are trying to beat the competition. I think if we just try to be ourselves and do our own thing, then we will be successful as our own thing. So don't even enter the competition is what I feel that's saying. With the Eight of Wands and the Nine of Wands, you have this impulsiveness card. Yes, I told you that someone here is very impulsive, so I would be careful. Having said that, this is a very lucky card. So again, if you are taking risks in work or business, they could be impulsive risks, but this horseshoe right here is going the right direction. So there could be a lot of success in a risk that you are taking. Next, for your fifth tip here, you have this clam card. It says, open up. It's okay to feel vulnerable. Yes, don't be afraid to express vulnerability at this time, but I also get the sense of you kind of coming out of a shell. It's like you're willing to open up more, but it's not even that. I feel you're more willing to explore. You're not keeping yourself stuck. It's like you're no longer attaching a title to yourself either. It's like maybe you have always been a title at work or in career, and now you're saying to yourself no, I'd rather have more flexibility than that. We actually see that right here. You have the Chariot, the Two of Wands, and the Six of Wands. Again, the Chariot is a card of more flexibility. He's leaving a city behind him behind, and he's doing this so that he can set himself apart, so that he can be unique. And this is in between the Chariot card and the Strength card. So I do feel for a lot of you, you are becoming stronger. You're also like working on yourself more is what I'm getting. But really, I feel you're kind of accepting your own unique path in your life. And I do feel this is encouraging you to take control. Again, the Chariot says where there's a will, there's a way. And there's definitely a need to take control here. Again, with that early in the month card, it says don't wait for clarity. He's not waiting for clarity. He normally has those two sphinxes in front of him, and those sphinxes represent the universe. They know where he's going. He might not know where he's going, but it doesn't matter. He is trusting that the universe is going to bring him in the right direction. He normally has stars in his canopy, moons on his shoulders. It's as above, so below. So he just knows that he's giving off the right vibes to the universe. The sphinxes, they are going to take him to where he needs to go. He doesn't try to control it. So again, releasing control and just like following your own path, or, or realizing that is going to be very powerful for you, I feel. Same thing, like, again, for some of you, I'm wondering if you've been triggered. Like, again, this could be a relationship situation. I don't think, this is going to sound weird. I don't think this is talking about a relationship, but what I'm saying is a relationship situation could have triggered this in you. It's like, I get this story here where it's like maybe you were dealing with a person who just tries to force things to happen. I feel like you could have been dealing with an obsessive person as well, but not like you think. I think maybe you notice with this person that they have a problem in life and they become obsessed with it and it consumes them and they can't allow anything else to happen in their life. It like takes over their life. And if you had that, and then I think that was meant to trigger you to this right here, to realize that you have no control. It's like I've met a lot of people like this where they have every little issue they obsess over and they try to control it by obsessing over it, but really it does nothing for them. And they lose a lot of time. What I find about people who have those problems, and again, get help if you're that problem for sure. But what I would say here is that those types of people, it's like they never get anything done and they always worry about things that either aren't that big of a deal or that they have no control over in the first place, So I feel for a lot of you, it's like maybe that's what this person was meant to teach you if you dealt with that person. You have the Two of Wands here, and you have the Two of Wands. This is in between the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands. Funny enough, both cards represent leadership. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be taking the lead in your life in a major way. It's like you're taking much more control over your life here with this energy. And finally, you have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of success and having some sort of victory. It's also a card of a Seven of Wands. I do feel, going this way with the Ace of Pentacles, that if you're attracting something new in your life, I feel you need to protect it. And especially if it's like an idea or a career or a business that you're working on, something where there's a lot of potential, a lot of possibility. Again, High Priestess, plus that card that says explore the possibilities. I feel there's really something that could be really, really good for you. But it's like if you stay in this little circle and don't explore outside of it, I feel like you're not going to get the full potential. That's really what this reading is saying. It's like one tip, like I said. It's like there aren't 5 tips here. I'm sorry. I know that I said this is 5 tips, but really it's explore the possibilities. I think, you could have this idea to start a business, and what you're thinking right now is just a tiny little circle, which is fine. We should start small. I don't think we have to start way out here. But at the same time, I feel like it's saying take trips around, you know what I mean? It's like take trips outside of your comfort zone so that you can grow, so that you can become more, so that you can do things differently, so that you can diversify yourself, right? Same thing in career. It's like you could be taking a risk or asking for a raise or promotion. Same thing in love. Maybe you're sick of a type of person and you're just expanding the circle. You're opening up to a different type of person, right? With the Chariot, you have this Endurance card. I feel like the universe sees all the hard work that you've been doing. I mean, both the Chariot and the Strength card represent endurance. Really, they do. So, I feel like the universe sees the work that you've done, and you could be receiving rewards for that. With the Two of Wands, you have this Vision card. Yeah, I feel like we are kind of like in a time of Pisces. This is the Sun in Pisces, this card. And, we have Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces. So I feel your vision needs to be very clear. Pisces is like the true visionary. It's like everybody always says Aquarius, and it's not that Aquarius isn't the visionary, but when you look at very successful visionaries, like Steve Jobs, Pisces, there are others that exist as well. The Nike guy, Pisces. I don't know, the list goes on and on. There's a bunch of them, right? So what I would say here is that I feel like you need to hold the vision or have a vision. It could be very futuristic, especially with Pluto going into Aquarius and Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces, I think people don't realize, it's like some crazy dream. It's like take your craziest idea, multiply it by 1,000. That is Neptune and Pisces. here's the thing though, is that with Neptune and Pisces, we are going to see some crazy shit by the end of 2025. So, I believe personally that we have some crazy stuff coming up. I've always said if aliens are going to land, probably going to happen by the end of 2025, 2026. I think they're already here. Don't get me started on my conspiracy theories. But what I would say is, if they're going to, come out and tell the truth, then it's going to, it will happen, by 2025, 2026, or the aliens will just land and they'll be like, we're here, So again, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen then. And again, we're going to see some crazy stuff. But again, in your personal life, what the hell does this have to do with anything? In your personal life, if you have a crazy ass idea to, start a new company or do something crazy like that you think is crazy for you, I would do it, because if there's ever a time that it could happen, it would be right now. With the Six of Wands, you have the fulfillment card. Yeah, I feel we're dead. Never mind. I feel like there's a ton of fulfillment coming in for you and a lot of success. I feel like this is financial fulfillment as well. So if you're improving your finances, then, I feel there's a lot of financial fulfillment. But I love this reading for you, Capricorn. A lot of good stuff coming up for you. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy the rest of the year.